Salut coders, welcome to another tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to do friends lookup, the users that are using our application. So after creating an account, we are creating a user into this collection which is users. So for lookup, we want to read your friend's contacts. If your friend contact existing in this collection, we know that your friend is using the application, so be able to send a message to that person. So let's get started. From the previous tutorial, we created this user which is using our application. So in this tutorial, we want to create a friend block, friend event, and if we manage, we can create a view to list of friends. So let's go to our project. So in this project, we want to create a new block, which is a friend. So let's create a directory and we call it friend. So like previous on auth, we created an auth event, an auth state, and an auth block. So let's create an friend event. So we can just copy, or let's create a class. Okay, we call it this class friend. Let's start with an event. Class, and we can call this an abstract one. Abstract class friend event, and it extends equitable. This one, just like this. And we want to create our first event is to read when someone click a refresh button, we want to read contacts. So this one we call it contacts list event. Class contacts list event, and this one is extending class contacts list event, supposed to override this one. So here just return an empty array. So we want to fire this event. After firing this event, we want to get list of contacts. So now let's jump on to here and create a friend block. So in here we can just create, but we need also a state, a block as an event and a state. So let's copy this one and call it friend state. So here it's no longer a friend event, it's now a friend state. This is the output, the result. So now let's leave it like this for now, and let's go to our block. So our block will be class friend block extends here. It's supposed to extend a block. So extends a block. A block is an event and a state. So our event is friend event, and our state is friend state. Then we want to initialize this. Where for a block we must have it is supposed to have a constructor which is an initial constructor. So here we just call it, it allows an initial state. So just call it state friend state and call the super which is the state, which is the friend state. Here, so here we linked our block, our event, and our state. So the next thing, after you create a block, you have to register it into our main. So let's go to our main here. From the list of blocks here, when the application starts, we have this one where it allows list of providers. So we created an auth block previous on the previous videos. So here we want to create a friend block. So here it's a friend block, and we can import this. Then our block must have an initial state, and this state is for auth. So we are supposed to get a state, an initial state. When this block is being created here, we must have an initial state. So here we just copy here. This is our initial state, and this one, no, not in this state, which is a friend state. Extend this one, initial, and we must implement this. So by doing this, we can now go back to our main. We just copy the initial state, friend state, and we paste it here and import it. So we register our friend block here. So what do you want to do here? So here we want to listen to the event of loading contact. So to listen this, we just say on, and then the event that we are listening, which is, what's the name of the event, which is contact list event, this one. And then the name of we have the event here, which is event, and the state. Then this thing, it's async. Let's call it async, and then create this because it will be asynchronous. So we want to wait for something. So when someone click the refresh dialog, we want to call a method to get the list of contacts, create this. If the friend exists in the user collection, we then create into our new collection, which is called friends. So the name of this, we can call it, let's say, await. We'll be waiting for a response, which is get contacts lists, or and persist friend, and we pass an event and a state here, which is it a state? I think it's a state. It's an emitter. No, it's a emitter like this. Which, so here it's an emitter. Emit. So let's create this method. So in this tutorial, we are starting with the business logic, and then we can then go to the designs later on after we are done with the business logic. So the business logic is a bit complicated, but don't worry, I will help you to sort out this thing. So the first thing that you want to do, if our application is web, K is web, we don't want to read contacts because for a web we don't have to read contact list, we don't have contact list, so we just return. So now you know it's no longer a web, it's now an iOS or Android phone, so we'll be able to read contacts. So let's just say try. Let's add the try catch because there's a lot that is going to happen here, and catch an exception. We want to read from contacts, or maybe you don't have permissions, or something else can happen. So let's print the exception to be able to know the issue if anything happens. So on the first tutorial, when we did our project setup, we added this dependence which is called contact service. So we use this service to get list of contacts from the phone, Android or iOS. So this dependency can assist us on that. So let's use this service to get contacts. So we just say await, or let's see, no, let's just say contact service. This one, we want to use this one, contact service dot get contacts. We want to use this one with thumbnails. So we don't need to use thumbnails, just say false. The reason of disabling thumbnails, it allows this, we will get our dependents faster. So if we have 2000 contacts, we can put them quickly by removing thumbnails like images. So let's use this one. This is the efficient way. List, and we want to get list of contact. It will return list of contact because we want to get the contacts. So it will be contacts. So if we don't, then it's await. And this one, let's add async. So if you want to know the return type, you just click get contacts and you see you can get this list. It return list of contacts. So if the contacts are not empty, so it means in our phone we have contacts. So if contacts dot is not empty, it means we have to go through over list of contacts in our phone. So by doing this, let's say, so we want to store this list of phone numbers somewhere. We want the list of phone numbers, just a phone number. So we just say string, and we want list of strings of phone numbers, list of strings, because we are more concerned on phone number. List of string, then we just say mobile numbers. So far it's empty, and also you want the local storage dot get string, which is local storage dot user ID, then return it, either return it now, but once you logged in, we know that we have a user ID, so string user ID, then await, because it returns the future. So right now we have our user ID. So here, what you want to do, you want to loop this list of contacts. So looping the list, you just say for contact in contacts, right? For each and every phone number, we want to go through over it one by one. So once we have this, we want to check if we have a phone, because it contains list of phones. Dot phones. A contact can have a list of phones like phone number. You can have a contact with a list of phone numbers. So someone can have one person can have different phone numbers saved on one contact. So we want to go over list of phone numbers. So not equal to now. And contact dot phones and it's not empty, means here it will be true, but here can be a null. So let's add this. So now we know that from the list of phone numbers, we have, from the list of contact, we have phone numbers. So let's go through over each and every phone number, because a person can have multiple phone numbers in your contact, but there's the one phone number that is on our application. So let's go through each item, each phone number. So if item, so item in contact dot phones, we did a check here, so we can just add exclamation, because we know that this one is not now, because we checked here, it's not now. So we avoid a now here, right? Then after doing this, we want to get the, so this is the font that we want, string. So the string, a font can be a noun. This item dot font. This item, which item did I import here? It's item dot value. Sorry, this is the value, and it returns a noun. So that's why I put this one. Or so by doing this, we now have a phone number. So each phone number that we have, let's check if the phone number is the phone that we have is not now. Let's check if phone is not now. If phone not equal to now, so it means we have a phone. So if phone is not equal to now, so let's replace all blank spaces on the phone number that we have with an empty space. So replace all from, we want to replace all the, because on our phone number we can have a phone number which is, sometimes we can have a phone number which is plus, let's have a list of phone number which is plus 324 something, right? And you can have a space like this, and also we can have a phone number which is like this. It depends, which is saved like this. But what we want on our application, we don't want this. We must supposed to remove this plus, because on our user table we are not saving with a plus sign, and we must remove all special characters from the phone number. So that we are supposed to do here. So after doing this, we want to check if the phone number starts with a plus. If phone dot start with, it means it has a country code, dial code start with a plus. We know, so we want to remove that plus sign. So it will be phone, then substring from the index 1. So let's take the other part of the phone number. So if it is like this, we can start to take from 32, and we can leave this. We don't want this plus. Or else if phone dot start with the 0, because if you are in your country, usually you save a phone number, you don't put this country code, maybe you just save it as 0 something. So by doing this, we know that with the number that you are registered with, we want to replace 0 with your country code, because in this table you see our number starts with plus 32, so we want to remove the 0 and put 32. So how are we going to do that? So we want to we just do this string dial code await local storage service dot get string, and we want to persist this one, which is dial code. So far we don't have this dial code. Let's return this. So let's create this variable, field variable. So by doing this, we just say dial code. So we want to paste this dial code when someone's login. So let's go to our login screen, and here we are getting the phone number. We are doing the logic to get the phone number, and we have this phone number. So before we do this, let's say local storage service dot put a string which is a dial code, and from this object, which is a phone number, we have this one, we have this dial code. So this put string does not allow, so we just do this, but we know that we have the dial code. So we are getting the del code. We are persisting this del code. So you just say await, waiting for it to persist this del code. After persisting the del code, we can now go, or we can leave it like this. It's fine. So now we are, so once we logged in, we can persist the del code. The del code will be the country code, your country code plus 32 if United States, plus 1 if it's South Africa, plus 27 Belgium, plus 32 Netherlands, plus 33. That's all. So here, after we did this, we can go back to our friends block. So we know that right now we have a del code. So we just say, let's update our phone. So because we know that our phone number will start with a 0, so we just do this. We put a dollar here and we say del code. We start with a del code, and then the phone number that we have dot substring start from 1 again. So if the number was 032 1111111, then it will be, maybe it was 032 like this. So it will be the country code now. It will be 32 and the rest of this. So now we have the country code, so we'll be able to match the number here. So after doing this, after checking this, but still you see sometimes the phone number can have special characters. So we don't want to, we want to remove all special characters so that our phone number we need only numbers only. So we want to remove all special characters that are in there. So let's create a method here which we call string remove special characters. Then the string will be mobile number. So let's return. So we don't want anything related to special, like we don't want any like dollar signs, we don't want or dot negative plus everything. We want to remove those. So we just say replace all, and we want our to use reg, this class which is called reg expression, and from reg expression we put our double quotes, and our, we need this character, and we put this character which is this one when you are writing regex. So you can just type 0 to 9. So if this regex does not match 0 to 9, we can replace with this. So we can remove all special characters. So we want only numbers here. So after doing this, our phone number will be phone remove special characters, the phone that we currently have, the phone variable. So after doing this, we can now, let me think what we can do now. I think we need to add this one into our Okay, so after we remove all special characters, let's check if the phone number is not empty. Let's check if it's empty. We need to continue. We can leave this phone number and go to the next phone number from our list because it's empty. So now it means it's not empty. So what should we do now? We have a mobile number list that we currently have, which we created this object. So we want to persist this. We want to add this phone into this list. So we can do a check here. If phone numbers dot length is not greater than or equal to 100, we have to if it's not greater than or equal to 100, why this thing is giving an error? Sorry. Length is greater than or equal to 100, else. So why did I do this check here? Why the list that I'm using is supposed to have 100 items only? The reason is that when we want to send to a query, right? We want to send to a query. So if you want to do a query, there's a constraint on our query. It allows maximum of 100 queries that are allowed. So we want to send a list of hundreds phone numbers and check to the database. If we get 5, then we process them and create a friend. So we don't want to check we want to check hundreds each time in this table. If you have a friend, if you have hundreds, so a set of hundreds. So that's why we are doing this. So I will explain you why we are testing this for now. Just know this dot add, then you can add the phone. So if it's 100, what do you want to do? We want to clear this thing. We want to clear this array so that it can start again with another set of 100. After clearing, we want to add again this phone number. But you see, we cleared this list and start again. And it means if there's 200, like 105, we can only check the last 5 numbers of this list because the first 100 will be cleared and we are left with the other 5 numbers. So we want to be able to store these hundreds in another data structure. Next time, if you get another 100, we can store them in that data structure. So the data structure that we can use here, it's a map. So this map can contain a key of any random UUID and a list of 100, and a list of mobile numbers. So in here we want to create our before our for loop here, we want to create our map. And our map contains a string and a list of a string, which is our phone number. So this one we can call it contacts map, and by default it is empty. Here we have to close this. So by doing this, we just say contacts map we just say contacts map and a key. We just say const uid. We want to use dot version v4, right? This method. Let's import this uid. And this is our key. It's just a key. We don't want to use it, so we just put a random. And in this map, we can add a list of phone numbers. So we now have a list of phone numbers. So this key on our map, this random key can have 100 phone numbers. Then we start again at the first phone number until. So by clearing, we are going to have one phone number. Once you come back here, it will add this phone number 2, 3 up to 100. Once it's 100, we create them here and clear again and start afresh. So we can have list of what? A list of phone numbers in our map. So after doing this, let's move on to another step. So here we are done with from our for loop. Now we have this contacts map, right? So from this contacts map, we want to check if it's not empty. So we want to check if it's not empty. So if contacts map is not empty, so we have phone numbers. A map, our map have a keys with a list of phone numbers. So what we do, we just loop all the contacts map. So dot for each, and we have a key and a value. So this value will be list of friends, will be mobile numbers list here. So once we have this mobile number list, what you want to do, we want to get a data. We want to fetch a we want to fetch all users that are in these users tables. So let's say there's another phone number here, maybe thousands of phone number. We want to check from the list of phone number that we have, are they existing in this collection? So here we have to come and say, we just say databases, which is an upright databases equals to databases, and then we want to use our block, which is our client service. So to use our client service, we have client upright service, which is this one. So this is the class that you want to use. So it's upright. Upright client. Or we just come into the auth block to make it quick. We can come into our auth block and copy this one and paste it here. And we can import this one. And we can import our key for dependency injection. And we can come here. Then we can get the client here. So we now have a client. So we want to look for the contact for the list of users. So here we just say await. So await. We want to list documents. We want to list documents. We can use this method because we want list of documents using a query. So the database ID will be string. Then let's import this one, which is we have the database ID. So to make our code clear, then the name of the collection will be collection users, which is this one. And from there, we want to do a query, which is queries, and it is an array. So we can say just query dot equal. We want to match the phone numbers, and we want to use the field ID, right? And the value, which is this value. We want to query this one. So we want to query the ID. We want to search for the IDs with the list of these phone numbers. So with ID, we want to check first 100 phone numbers. So by doing this, we can add async, and you can see here it returns document list. So we just say document list, and you can import this one from the Appwrite. So we will be waiting for a response for the first 100. So here we want to check if it is something document list. From the document list here, what is in here, we have this total. Sorry, we have to come here. I was doing it outside. If the total is greater than, we just say it's greater than 0, it means after doing our query to check the first 100 phone numbers, we get maybe 2 users or 3 users that are using our application. So it means the record exists from this query. So what should we do? We want to create here, we want to create a friend. It means you are friend to that person, that contact is using the application. So we want to link that contact with to your friend collection. So let's create a collection for that. We call it contacts. So here, let's create a collection. You can call it contacts. So it will have a list of all contacts of everyone who is using the application. Then after creating this collection, we want to add few attributes, and from this contact, maybe let's create a first attribute. We can call it the mobile number, which is the person that using the application, your friend. So we just call it mobile number, and the type of mobile number is a string, and so just say 50 here, and it is required mobile number. Then you click create. Let's create another attribute, which is a display name. Which is the name that is going to be displayed, which is a string that you see the user that is using the application, and just say 255, and we are supposed to have this display name, or let's leave it like this. So this is a display name, a string, and we are done with this. So we want to add another again, which is your user ID, your own user ID. The number that you used to log in, this is your user ID, and you just say 50, no phone number is greater than 50, and user ID. Yeah. So let's go to the index. So we want to fetch for every, to know that this phone number is your is linked to your account. So next time, if you want to update maybe a display name, we want to be able to do a query to find by mobile number and user ID. If the number exists, we update it. If it doesn't exist, we create a new contact for your friend. So here, let's now go to index and create our new index. So here it will be a mobile number, user ID, index, and the first attribute will be mobile number, and we can add another one, which is the user ID, and then the order, just put ascending and then create. So we added this. We will be able to use the query to fetch this one. So let's go to our settings. For this, we want to have access to this collection. So each user who is using application must be able to access this one. So let's go to roles, add permissions here. So let's grant to all users able to create, read, update, and delete. Then click update. So we added the permission for this. So on our users, let's go back to our users table. Since we want to query the user, we want to query this table. We're saying we have to query the ID. It's wrong. We are supposed to query the user, which has this user ID, means the user ID, maybe someone signed with a phone number. So we want to also index that user ID. So we just come here, create an index, and you call user ID index, so that we'll be able to, it's a key and it's a user ID, and then we create this one. So that's all here. So the name of this attribute, then we come back to our code, and here where we said ID, let's change it to user ID. So we want to get list of users registered with on our application, which is their user IDs, their phone number. So we want to check them, those users matching with your phone number, with your contacts. So we want to create we want to create an object, which is a class, a contact, your friend contact. So let's go to the models here. We already have this one, Appwrite user. Let's just copy and paste this one, which say friend contact. And the name of the class, we just copy as it is. And let's replace everywhere return here and replace with this one. So from here, on our attributes, we have if you go to the contact collection, we created these attributes: mobile number, display name, and user ID. So here we just say mobile number, display name. It's case sensitive, so display name here and mobile number here. So these are the details that we want. Then we can come here to our readme. I added the command that we run to generate the to JSON, and from JSON of that you just paste this and run the command, and it will create the contact, this one, the friend contact g.dat. So you can see it's now created. We have user ID, mobile number, display name, and we can add it to Git. So now let's go back to our block. So here in our list, now we have a list of documents. So we want to look all the documents. So let's write a for each here. So it's for document in documents lists dot documents. So we know this. We are using collection user. A collection user, we are using this model, which is Appwrite user model. So we just copy this and come back here, and then we say dot from JSON. Let's import this from JSON, and we pass document dot get data dot data. Here each document is a map. So this map is of type Appwrite, which is our custom. Then you call it user. So from here we want to have a list of these friend contacts. So let's create a list of here before for loop. Let's import and then you can call friends equals to, oh, it's supposed to be a list, sorry. So you just say list of this type, right? So here we can create in our for loop. Let's now create a list of friends. Then you say contact equals to, so here we have a mobile number which is come from user dot user ID, and we have display name which came from name, and we have the user ID which is the current user, that is using your account user ID, which is this one. So all your contacts will be attached to your user ID. So your user ID, we have different mobile numbers. So by doing this, we also from list of friends, we just add contact. Then after doing this, we added a contact from, this is our for loop. So after our for loop, we want to create list of friends. So we just say create or update my friends. So here we pass this. So this method is not yet there. So let's create this one. So in this method, we want to create a new document into the collection of contacts. So let's create this method. So by doing this, we want to loop this. So let's loop it. We just say for friend contact in friends for all the lists. So we want to persist this. So just so maybe one record can have an error. So if we have an error with one contact, we want to continue persisting the other contacts. So let's add our try inside here in the cage, which is an exception. So from this, we can now, if you need, you can just print, but let's create a database here. We want to persist this to our database, equals to database and our client, which is, we already have this client here. We want to copy. Let's copy this and paste here. So now we have connection to our database. So what you want to do, we want to get from here, we want to get a list of, let's say we want to check a list of, if we have an existing record or it's a new, so we want to get a list of a contact. So each contact we want to check if it exists. So let's say document, then list documents, and we have strings dot database ID, strings database ID, and then the collection will be strings dot collection, and this collection is for contacts. So far for the contacts, we must add the collection ID of the contacts. So you can go to your databases, tutorial, So this is the contact. So you just copy the collection ID of the contact, and you can come back to your collection contacts. So we are going to save it here. Then we want to have a query here. We want to fetch like what we did before. Just say query dot equal. The attribute will be mobile number. We want to check if you have an existing contact of that person. Then here we can call it friend. It's supposed to be an array here. So it's going to be a friend dot mobile number dot mobile number, and it's supposed to be in. And we want also to test. We want to also to check for our if the contact is linked to my account. So here just say friend dot user ID. So this is the for here we just say friend dot user ID, which is my ID. So here let's pass the user ID string user ID. So this is going to be the user ID for my contact. So here let's just print an exception in case of an error. We are supposed to edit while in debugging. So after doing this, sometime if the record does not exist, it will throw an exception, which is 404. No, if the record does not exist here, it will return a 0 because it's a list. But a 404 is thrown when if you say get record. So here we just check if the document list is greater than 0. So here you just do this. You just check, it will return a document list. So just copy this one and say document list. Here it return a future. So let's say await and enter sync. So if this one is greater than 0, dot total is greater than 0, it means the record exists. So it means your user ID is a matching phone number. So if it exists, we want to update this record. So what we do is that we can come to because this record, it's a friend. You do this. Where is a friend contact, right? Then dot from JSON, then document list, then documents. We find the first record, then data, because we know it's greater than 0 means a record exists, and it will return a friend like this. We are mapping an existing record here. So by doing this, we just want to update this record with maybe a display name, which is important here. So we just say find first dot display name, and because some of the things are correct, maybe it's display name changed dot display name because the mobile number doesn't change and user ID doesn't change. So we then say document, we just say database dot update. So it requires a database ID, which is this one, and a collection ID, which is collection contacts ID, and also the name of the so if it's a document, we want to update to the with our document ID. Copy this one and do this, and this one would be of type map. It will be a document. Here it's a document. So from the document we have a map, which is this one, and from a document we want to update an existing document ID. So we just say .get $ID, and we are now updating an existing record. So we can just say await. Let's wait. After doing this, and it will return a document also. After updating, it will return the same document, which is an updated document. So this method is for updating. So we just say print contact document updated with our dot with this ID. So after doing this, it means we are updating an existing document. If it does not exist, we create a document. So for creating a document, it's just like the same. We just copy what we did here. So instead of say update document, it will going to be create document. Create document, and the create document does not have a document ID. So let's remove our document ID, and we want to save, and it's supposed to have a missing attribute. Okay, the document ID, our document ID here, sorry, it will be uuid v4, right? And there's something missing also, which is the required data. The data that we are going to persist is this one, which is a friend, of type. It requires a type of map, so dot to JSON. And here we want to update an existing document. We missed something also, data, which is of type this one, friend contact dot to JSON. Then after doing this, we just say contact document created, and it will return, this one will be new document. a typo error here. So once we create it, will print the new ID of the document created. So after doing this, after we create our document, we want to fire a state which we say reload frame state, so that our list builder or our view will get the latest contacts, means we have something new here. So let's go to our state. So let's solve this error, and this error here, it requires a user ID. So let's go to our state. In our state, there's this method. Let's just remove it from here and add it here in our, and also let's go to the event also and do the same. Just copy this one and add it in our abstract class or super class or base class. Then let's go into a state. So we want to have a state which is reload contacts. So this, we can call it reload friends. Reload friends state. So from here, from our block here, after we are done with this, we can, after our for loop is running over here, and after that we have to emit this one, and also we can also create a loading to show that it's loading. Refresh contacts, loading, refresh. Okay, refresh friends state, and we can do this here. So from here, so if we have list of contacts here, we can just emit here. So if there's an exception or what in this, let's say an exception was thrown in this and it was not handled, we can also emit reload. We can refresh based on what we have. So it means here we don't have an exception. We are trying to handle any exception that is there. So if it's not empty, that's when we start to reload, and here that's off from here. So we have our block that is working, and with this logic we'll be able to refresh contacts. So in our UI, we need to code this block. So let's go into our UI and start working on the friend page, and then create list of contacts by clicking a refresh button. So here in our dashboard, we want to have another directory that we can call a directory that you can call friends. You can call it friends. It's okay. Then here we can have a .dat file, a new .dat class file called friend list. Friend list page or a friend list screen. So here just say class friends list screen, then extends stateful widget, and we want to use this stateful widget from material. Then here let's create its state, the state for this one, which is class, add an underscore here, an underscore. It makes it private. Then we say state, then extends. It will be invisible in this file. State, then we call the name of the state, which is this one. Then here we must create our state. We can just say state, then the state is of this type, right? Then override create state. That's why we are seeing this error. And then the name of the state is this class. And here you can just add it override. So here let's override our method, which is build. That's where we are going to build our view of this one, and this view must return, it will be listening to a block listener. So it will be listening to a block listener, and a block listener of type block listener. I don't want this. Let's say use this one, and it's of type friend block, and a state friend block and a friend state. It requires a friend block and a state. So this one also, it needs a listener. That's why it was giving us an issue, an error. And this is the listener. And we also need a what? A widget here, which is going to be our view, and we can put it in a scaffold and a body. So in our body, we want it to be scrollable. I think let's put single scroll view. So here we can have a child, and the child, let's put a column here, and the column is children. So our list view, we want to have a list view and the header. But before we do that, we can add another widget here, which is a container or a size box. So let's just put a container here, and we just say height. We want this thing to cover the whole height, so we just say media query dot of kind context, and we want to use size dot here, size dot height, and also for a width here we want it to cover the width, and it's suggesting us to use the size box. It's okay, let's use that one. And here we want to have but we want to have a list, like a list view builder, means a list of contacts, like a so in Flutter we use a list view builder to do that. But before we do that, we want to check here, we want to have a list of friends. Here, where is our model friend contact? So we want to have this one, and we can call them friends, and it is an array. So we want to populate our list. We're going to have list of friends. So by doing this, we can just say if it's empty, we just say friends dot is not empty. So it means we have a list of what? We have a list of friends. So we want to display friends. So here, if we have a list of friends, we just say, let's put our in an expanded, let's put our list view builder in an expanded. Then here we need to add, let's say, just say an empty container. We can update it later. Where is this? From here. So from this, let's do this. We have an expanded, which is want to add a list view builder. So just say list view. List if you want to use the separated one, so we can have we can have like a we can have a line that's showing a separator line. Then we have an item builder. So our item builder will be of this type. We just say index, and we can use this one. This is going to be our item builder. Then we can return. This is the this is the this is the widget that you want to return for each item. So you just say return list tile. We can use a list tile here. From a list tile, we can have a leading, but now we can have a leading widget. So let's comment this one for now. And we can have a title, and the title will be of type what? Text. We want to display the name of a friend. So from our friends on this, from our friends, then from our friends at this index, which is here, it is going to be the index. So we selected a single index now. Dot we want a display name, or else we print something. So here will be an index, and this one is going to be our. It's a return here. and we want to have an, what else do you want? Okay, we want to, if we want, we can add also on tab. Let's say we click this item, so we just say print, and we can print this, maybe the ID here, or we can print the mobile number of the user here. You can print the mobile number. So on our leading here, we want to show a profile picture, but for now, let's leave it like that. I will add a, I will show you how to add a profile picture. So on our separator, on our separator builder, we want to have a widget for the separator builder. So we just say here, we just say we can do this, then we can return a sized box of width 1. You can add a constant modifier here. Why is this complaining? So on our item count, it will be reference dot length. Reference dot length. So by doing this, we'll be able to list all the friends that we have. So, but once we get into here, we want to add a refresh dialog. So if someone click a refresh button, we want to be able to to load the data from by calling our block. But here we have this state also. So which states do we have in here, and which states are important? So we want, if this thing called, like when we receive this state, which is refresh friend state. So if state is this one, refresh from our block, which is our block provider dot off, and I think this one we accept, which is the Flutter block, and it is of type. Then here we want to add a new event, and the name of the event is to load friends. So we want an event to load friends here. So we can go to our blog. So far we don't have, we only have contact list events. So let's add this. Sorry. Let's just copy this one, and we can say get existing friends or load existing friends event. So we can fire this event. So here we have this one. So we can call this, and we can do this. So we are listening to this. Then say load existing friends. Then we can create this method. Then we will do the logic to load an existing friends from here. So let's go back here, and here we can file that event, and we can import the event. So here, from here, we want to, from here we can say center. Let's change here to center, and on our child we want to have something like this: child text, which say we do not have friends, we do not have friends, please invite your loved ones and start chatting. So here, let's make it a constant. So by doing this, we'll be able to find friends here, and so for this video, I don't have time to explain this code. So in my widget, I want to add this custom app bar, a custom app bar. You can download it, or you can customize with the app bar that you want. And in our screen here, let's go to our here. We want to add that custom app bar. So let me paste what I think, which is our custom app bar, and we can import this one. So here, after I click a list of action, refresh friends, this one is going to be a refresh your action here to refresh. So let's create this method. So from this method, we want to call this event. Like here, I showed you how to call an event. And here we just say it was loading existing, but here we want to call this event to refresh contacts. So this here, for the app bar, we check if it's not a web, we show this button. It means you are on smartphone. If you are on a web, we don't see this icon to refresh. So that's why we add this logic, and you can you can design your own app bar. For me, I'm using the app bar that I created before to save time. So we want to use this one. We want to show it on our main dashboard. Let's go to our main dashboard. So here in our main dashboard, we want to select a widget. So let's add a new method that we call get selected screen. Get selected screen. And it allows an integer, which is an index. So we just say switch index if it's one case, we can return container. So if it's a one, I think in one it's a friend screen, right? And we default to, let's import this. We can default to we then put a container here, an empty container. So here on our get selected screen, we want to pass we go to our widget, which is here in our child. Then we say here get selected. Then by default it will be selected by default it will be at 0. So here on navigation, so we want to push a set state whenever this thing is thrown. So we want to add like an on button navigation, or what we can do here, we can go to here on app bar. We can have a method called on tap, and in this method we can just call it as an index. It has an index. This one will be an index either 0, 1, 2, depends on the number of tabs that you have. So you just say set state selected index equals to value that you have here. So by doing this, we'll be able to what? We'll be able to get a selected index. So if it's on position 1, it will show this view, or it will default to an empty. So for now, we only created friend screen. So I think we can test this. This is going to be our view. And let's open the application and test. And here, let me update, or let me cancel this one. I already have a profile photo, and the name, I don't want to change my name. So let's say click update. We are now on this. So let's click this friends. You see, this is the app bar that we currently have. But if I click this refresh button, our application will crash, and I will show you how to solve this one. You see, the application crashed because we didn't add a permission. Just say ignore. We didn't add the permission to allow the iOS to read contacts. So let's add that permission. You can go to your iOS folder and you go to your runner. There's this file called info list. So just be at the end of this file, we want to add permission to read contacts. So far we added for mic, cameras, like what we did when we want to access the phone storage. You see you saw the dialog of allowing you to select an image. So let's add for the contacts. So for the contacts, you have to add this permission, which is NS contact usage. So this app requires contact access to function properly. So just add this one and let's run it again. So let's go here and let's try to click this refresh button. And you say chat with Bisq would like to access your contact. This app's required. Then you say okay. Then let's click the refresh again. So let's go here and see and test our logic. So we click this refresh contacts and we call this method, and on our block we are listening to this and we go here. So is this a web? No, it's not a web. So are the contacts empty? So let's check if it's empty. Just say print. I know the contacts are not empty. Contacts dot length and check here. And also we want to check the phone numbers here, here before we call these special characters. I know somewhere where here is the contacts map empty. I know it's not empty, but maybe this contact does not exist. So this is the value. Let's print the list of the array of phone number that are being sent to the user's collection. So you just say print value. Let's save and see. Let's see our logs. So here we have 11 contacts and we didn't get in here. So why did we not get in here? Let's see. Let's see our for loop here. If contacts here, phone numbers, start with remove special characters, length. Do you have this mobile number? If okay, so what you want to do here, we have a bug here. So you can see here we have from here we have this. We only have one contact. We only have 7 contacts. So our map is only our map is only saving if it's greater than 100. So 7 contacts is not greater than 100. So we are not able to get in here. So once we are here, so let's do the logic here, the last one. So we can check if this is not empty. If this one is not empty, here sometimes 7 contacts is not empty, right? And so to resolve this one, we just do this. Just copy this and we can do this. We can do this. For now, let's solve this by doing this. If it's not empty, let's add our 4 numbers that we have. This 7 phone number is into this map, and here you can just say and mobile numbers is less than 100. Dot length is less than 100, and we know that 7 is less than 100. If it's greater than 100, it means we have 100 contacts here. So let's save this and test again. Let's click refresh. You see, now this is the list of phone numbers that we have in my contacts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 contacts, right? And right now with these 12 contacts, I think we don't have any user with these contacts. So let me create another user and create an account for that. Let me create another user. So what you can do, I will uninstall this one. So far we only have one contact, so let me create another one. So I'm using a new phone number, and this number I already saved the account, so I can call it testing number. And let me add a profile picture for this one, and this is going to be our profile picture of this waterfall. Then I click update. Yeah, after doing this, that's also, if you go to our table, to our collection of users, we are now having two phone numbers. We are now having this first, the testing number, and this one that I was using all the time. So let me install the application and using my original phone number. And I just say update. So here, if I go here and I can click refresh and say allow, you can see now a new contact was created. So let's check this contact in our table, in our document from contacts. You see, this is the phone number of the user. These are the details of the user that I am using, and the display name is testing number, which I showed you in creating the previous profile. And this is the current ID, which is the user. So this, my user, is in relationship with this contact, with this. So it means this number is on the application. So let's get here. Let's try to refresh this one again and see if we are able to update. You see, the contact has been updated. So if we just come here and go back here, it means we are able to update the record. So by doing this, we are able to view the details. So after running this, so far we don't have we must call the endpoints to get list of friends that are already here. So let's add the logic. So here we call this method. After I do our refresh, we are calling this state, and we want to load an existing friends from here. So let's implement this logic. So you just say try, then catch an exception here, which is our exception, and we want to get list of friends here. We want to get a list to load existing friends. So here we only have one friend. So let's go into here. I think we have this logic already to call this one. So the mobile number. So we want to call friends linked to my user ID. So let's just copy this and come here, and let's copy this also. Then here is supposed to be an await, and here we want to get all the phone numbers linked to my user ID. So here we just say string user ID, which is my user ID, equal to local storage get string, which is local storage user ID, and optional return empty, and here it will be in await, right? And here an exception will be thrown. So I can teach you how to resolve these exceptions. So by doing this, so here we are going to get a list of friends. So we just say if dot total is greater than 0, it means we now have a list of then documents, right? So what you can do from this, it will return list of document a list of documents, yeah, like this. So we can do a simple thing here, which is we can do this an easiest way for each document in documents. We can do this. We can say, let's go to our model, and this is our model. We convert it from JSON, which is a map from JSON, and you can say document dot data, and it will return this one, which is a friend, like this. So we want to have a list of this, which is a list of friends, which will be an empty array. Then we just say dot add. We can add this friend here. So after we are done with this, we can fire a state here. After we are done loading with this, we can fire a state, So what could be the name of the state? Do you have a state that accepts list of friends? I don't think so. So let's go to the states and say command D, then say friends list. So it will allow this one, and we can create an generator constructor of this, and we can import this, and also we can do this in equitable, and we can pass this. So here we can go back to our block. After we are done with this loop, we just say emit, right, which with a list of what? List of friends that we added here, and then we have to go to our friends list, friends screen. On our listener, we'll be listening to that. We just say command D, else this one, this state. So we just say set state, then we say friends equals to state dot friends. So we can save this, and we can test if we are able to see our friends here. But there's an exception that will be thrown here. I will show you. Updated. You see there's an exception, which is an index not found. So why are we getting this and this exception? It's because here we are querying a user ID. So if you are querying to any field that we added, you must add an index of it. So here we have to come to our contacts here. You see we have these attributes. Last time we queried this one and this one, and you created index for it. But if you want to query only one field, you have to create index for that. So let's create the index of index. I can say index user ID, and the attribute will be user ID. Then you click create. So we now have two indexes. So let's test again and click refresh. As you can see, this is the testing phone number. This is the user that we currently have. We are able to see our testing phone number. If you click, you see this is the number that we are currently using, and this is my friend, and this person from my contact is using the application. So now let me show you how we can implement to show the profile picture of this contact. So let's go to the widgets. Here I will add a widget that I created for that. So here we have this friend image widget. So this one is we are going to display the profile image of our contact. So let's use this one. So we can go to our friend image, we can copy the class name, and let's go to the screen here in our list view builder. We just do this, and we can import this, and it requires a phone number, which is this one, and we can a phone number, and by default we know this thing won't be now, because it's required. So we can save this. You can see now there's a default image that is showing here, and an image of a user which a user added when updating the name and the details. So there's a space here that we want to resolve. Let's resolve this space. Padding age set 0. Then you can do this. You see, we resolved the spacing, and it's now showing nicely that we have a leading and we have a title. So we can also show like a, but it doesn't matter. I think if you see this, you know the person. So that was all from this video, and I hope you enjoyed and you learned new things to read from contacts to display the user. In the next tutorial, we are going to start the chatting by clicking this phone number, and we will show a chat screen, and you can start to send messages, text messages, and later on we implementing sending images and videos using Flutter and Appwrite. Salut coders, if you are new to this channel, may you kindly please subscribe, like, share, and comment